Boa tarde, bem-vindos uma vez mais ao podcast e vodcast da Escola de Hotelaria e Turismo no Porto, o Check-in Turismo. Hoje tenho uma convidada internacional, a Sandra, que vem de Barcelona, Espanha, e que nos tem a amabilidade de nos conceder esta entrevista. Como é de Espanha e é professora de inglês, o resto da entrevista será conduzida em inglês. So, Sandra, thank you so much for being here. Sandra is here in the Erasmus program, visiting us, and will visit our school also in Algarve tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, thank you for this brief interview, Sandra.
Thanks to you. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah.
Quite welcome. Thank you for thank you for visiting us. And so, as normal in our podcast, I would start by asking our guests if you can share with us a funny moment during your life as a student.
Okay. Yeah. As a student, as a young student, right? Well, actually, I think about something that happened to me when I was at the university.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I liked, but I was not. I was kind of shy of asking him out. And one day I was at the library with my friends, pretending to be studying.
Okay.
And he was also there, like just a few tables away from us. And what I did is, instead of going there and asking him for his phone number or something like this, I went to the library desk and I asked for, this kind of request form.
Yes.
Official request form, where you have to expose like some information and then make a request.
Okay.
So I fill in that document, requesting his phone number because he was like a nice person and so on. And then I left my phone number and he wrote me back, and well, we dated for some time. It would have been nice that the end of this story would have been that, yeah, he's my husband now, but he's not.
Okay.
It was just a story, it was a nice way of like stepping out of my comfort zone, let's say.
Yes.
And yeah, kind of like be brave and
yes.
Yeah.
And it was also creative, so you found an element to make it
funny,
easier.
Right?
Yeah. It's a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Very well. And so you are an English teacher, but as we spoken before, it was not your initial training. So can you tell us a bit about your choice or your course until you became an English teacher, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, I studied economics at the university where I met this guy. But while I was studying, I felt that I didn't like it a lot. But then, you finish your studies, you find the first job. I was working in a commercial bank for a while, but I was like quite not feeling the passion for the job, right? So I started questioning myself what to do, and I studied a master's in international development, which I thought that was something that I could like more.
Yes.
And then thanks to that I got some other jobs related to international development. I worked for NGOs, for international organizations, for non-profit associations, for universities, and I worked and lived in several countries. Once,
such as
the US, Ethiopia, the Netherlands as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a traveled woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually enjoy it a lot, like living abroad, actually, because it's a way of practicing being a tourist, but working at the same time. So I think it's a good combination.
Okay.
And then I wanted to come back to my country, to Spain, and at that time I was working in the intersection between culture and international development, and it was kind of hard to find a place where I could work and feel happy with what I was doing. And then I started thinking again what was next for me, and I had I had studied a certification to be a teacher, and I started preparing myself to become an English teacher, and that's what I'm doing now. So so far so good. So I'm happy with the decision, and I'm enjoying a lot.
Very well.
Right now. Yeah.
And I think you already mentioned them, but can you highlight the moments during your career that made you change? What triggered? You know what I mean? What triggered the decision to change?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't think there's a single trigger. I think I question a lot what I do. So I think it's important for anyone to ask why you are doing what you're doing, and is that something that fulfills you in the present time, or it's something that maybe it's outdated for you, right? So I keep on reviewing what I do and what I like, and that was the case when I decided to study the Master in International Development, and then that led me to work to get a job in Ethiopia. So I worked for the Spanish embassy there for 2 years, and then I spent an extra year doing something else. But that was like a key moment in my life, I would say, because I really enjoyed that job. I was working organizing cultural activities to promote Spanish culture abroad, and also to give some value to local culture, to Ethiopian culture. And so we were promoting cultural exchange between these two countries. I was all the time talking with artists and organizing like different activities related to art and culture, and it was really fulfilling and enriching, just also for myself, right? Just for the people going to the activities and the participating artists, but also for me. So I think that completely changed the way I see work, right? It's something that, for me, in the end, you need to have fun with what you do, because it's so important. We spend a lot of time working. Yeah, true. And I think we really need to have fun with what we do.
So it was the cultural experience, different experiences, also the events and all this mix. And so probably each day was not the same as the previous day. I'm wondering. Completely different, right?
It was hectic, like the rhythm. You had to adapt to constant changes all the time. So I think that gives you like skills for anything in life. Also, the culture is very different from different country, different continent. There's many things that you don't understand while you are there, but you are supposed. Some things might. You sometimes try to apply your logical sense, your common sense, and your common sense is not common to them. It's not common with them.
Yes, I understand. They have a different way of thinking.
Different common sense. It's not common anymore, right?
Okay.
So it's difficult to adjust, but at the same time very interesting, and very you grow a lot as a person.
So a fun fact, here in our school we have a lot of students. How can I say this? Older than most of them, of our students, because they are also reinventing themselves. So following the passion that you mentioned, so they return to studies in order to follow their passion.
That's lovely.
Yes, it's very interesting. And so I share with everyone. I think our oldest student he's already in internship, is like 58 or something.
Wow.
Yes, that's really great. Reinventing himself, even at a more mature stage in his life.
Who knows? Maybe I'm next. Cooking.
So you're welcome. Our doors are open. Okay, feel free to drop by. But it's interesting that people at a certain point in their lives decide, okay, I'm going for it. Very interesting. And how has been your experience at the School of Hospitality and Turismo Barcelone? What motivates you to go there every day and teach English to Spanish students?
I like many things actually. I'm actually also self-motivated, so I'm kind of passionate about everything that I do. I think the working environment is very good. People like teachers and also students are very nice. I teach what I know from your schooling system. It's level 4 and level 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I think it's so for level 4 it's so inspiring to kind of motivate them in a future profession, because sometimes they are kind of lost. It's like young people and they don't really know what to do with their lives. So I think it's good as a teacher to inspire them in a profession. And also for level 5, they're like more like mature and they already enjoy the studies. It's challenging, although, because English it's theory, it's not practical subject. So
at least they think so.
Yeah.
That is right now.
But yeah, I try to design like different activities. I like to apply creativity a lot. As I told you, I was working in arts and culture, and so I like to apply that to my daily routine. So I try to design activities that are fun, not just for them, but also for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Also, the school, it's quite. It has like a. It's big. It has a lot of natural light. So the working environment itself, it's also nice. I'm very happy of being there.
To end our interview, I would like to ask you what kind of profile of students or person would you recommend a course and a career in the tourism sector?
Well, anyone willing to deal with happy customers, I would say, because as an experienced banker, let's say, or someone who works in banking, I got a lot of angry customers, and it's quite sometimes it's difficult to deal with these situations. And I think a career in tourism is very interesting because you always get people like who is on holidays or willing to learn about the different culture and different aspects of a country or history, heritage, and so on. So it's also grateful and inspiring to be working with people that has this mindset and is willing to have fun and is happy of being where they are. Otherwise, I mean, people don't travel if they don't
want to.
Exactly, they stay at home, right? So you always get people who is really willing to learn something from you.
And in a different mood than someone from a company going to the bank.
At least for a loan or a mortgage or something like this and complaining about
whatever.
many things.
Whatever. Okay. Very well. Sandra, thank you so much for this brief interview. Thank you all. Obrigado a todos que nos acompanharam neste episódio e vemo-nos em breve em mais um episódio do Check-in Turismo da Escola de Hotelaria e Turismo do Porto. Até breve.